Okay, in this video 4.1, we're going to be talking about polygons and finding different angles in the polygons. So something that's outside a triangle. Okay, so a polygon is a closed figure. Okay, closed is big in here. So if I draw a figure, if it's open, it's not a polygon. Okay, so a closed plane figure formed by 3 or more segments. Each segment intersects exactly 2 other segments at its endpoints. You cannot have any curved. That is not a polygon. Curves are a no-go. Okay, we could have triangles, we could have squares or rectangles, we could have hexagons. Those are all polygons, but you can't have it be open and you can't have any curves on it. Okay, we have convex and concave polygons. So the way that I remember concave is it caves in. So if you look in here, it makes a little cave. You can put a little person in there and they're sitting in a cave. Okay, convex, it's not caving in. So there's no spots where it dips in where you could be inside of it. Okay, we have equilateral polygon, so all the sides are equal, so we have congruent sides. Equal angular, it says angle in it, so it has all equal angles, and the big one in this is regular. It's both equilateral and equal angular. So whenever I say a regular polygon, it means all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal. So they should all be the same lengths and the same size. Okay, polygon angle sum, so finds the sum of all the angles in a polygon. So what we're going to use to find the total number of degrees in a polygon. So normally triangles are 180. And we're going to see that in a second here. We're going to use this equation n minus 2 times 180. N is going to stand for the number of sides. Okay, so if, for example, I do a triangle, so triangle has 1, 2, 3 sides. So my n would be 3, because that's my number of sides, and then I plop it in that equation. This will tell me how many total degrees are inside my figure. So 3 minus 2 gets me 1, because we do our order of operations first. Parentheses would be first. 1 times 180 would be 180 degrees, which is true, because there's 180 degrees in a triangle. So that finds my total sum of the degrees in a polygon. Okay, so determine the sum of the angles. So 21 gone, that tells me how many sides it is. So my n in this situation is going to be 21. So I'm going to do 21 minus 2 times 180. It's always a 2 here and always a 180 here. So I work the inside first to get 19. And then I'm going to multiply and get 3,420 degrees that you would share for a 21-agon, which means it has 21 sides. So that's a lot of degrees and a lot of angles. Okay, my next one's a 42-gon. So my n is 42 because that's telling me my number of sides. And then I'm going to plug it into my equation. So 42 minus 2 times 180. I work the inside of the parentheses first. So I'm going to get 40 times 180. 40 times 180, I would have 7,200 degrees to share between all 42 angles in that figure. Okay, my next one is n is going to be 50. So I do 50 minus 2 times 180. Work the inside first. 50 minus 2 is 48. 48 times 180 is 8,640 degrees to share between all of those angles. Okay, my other one, finding the measure of one angle, and then I'm going to put in a regular polygon. Okay, remember regular means all the sides are congruent and all the angles are congruent. So if I use this equation, I can find one specific angle inside a polygon. So if I divide it by that number of sides, it's going to split up my angles evenly. So this I'm going to do n minus 2 times 180, and then I divide by the number of sides to split up that degrees for each one of those angles since they should be the same. So this is going to find me one specific angle in a regular polygon. Okay, so find the measures of one angle. So first I need to find the number of sides in this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my n is 6. And then I'm finding one angle. So I'm using my n minus 2 times 180 divided by n to divvy it up and find one of them. So I'm going to fill in my n, so 6 minus 2 times 180 divided by 6. Order of operations state parentheses first, so 6 minus 2 gets me 4. And then I'm going to multiply before I divide to get 720 over 6. Divide it by 6. So each one of those angles in there is going to be 120 degrees since it's a regular polygon. And in this situation, a regular hexagon. So each one of these inside angles would be 120 degrees. Okay, find the missing angle. So to determine the sum of the angles using the polygon angle sum. So we're going to look at it here. I can't use my n minus 2 times 180 divided by n because not all the angles are the same. So first we're going to figure out what the total degrees is to share. So I'm going to do my n minus 2 times 180 to find the total degrees that I'm sharing. So n minus 2 times 180. We're finding that total first. So figure out the sides. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So my n is 6. So 6 minus 2 times 180. I do my 6 minus 2 to get 4. 4 times 180 is 720 degrees. So I have 720 degrees to share between all of these angles. Problem is I already have all of them but one. So I need to take all of them and take that take it out of that 720. So if I want to write an equation about this, I could do n plus 156 plus 122 plus 143 plus 108 plus 110, and the total should 720. I can't write it in because it's on the edge of my board here. Okay, so if I add all those and take it away from 720, I'll get that one angle that I want left. So first off, let's add it. Let me erase that. So I have n plus 639 equals 720. We're going to subtract that 639. So 720 minus 639. So that one angle that I have left is 81 degrees. If it was a regular figure, we could have done the n minus 2 times 180 divided by n because all the angles would have been the same. But because they're not, we can't do that. Okay, so my next one, they're not all the same, so I'm just doing my finding my total and then taking away the ones I do have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So I'm doing 4 minus 2 times 180 to find my total. So 4 minus 2 gets me 2. 2 times 180 gets me 360. So I have 360 degrees to share between all of these. So if I add all my angles, it should equal that total of 360. So 37 plus 44 plus 152 gets me 233. And then we subtract 233 from both sides to figure out what I want left. So that last angle there is 127 degrees. Okay, my next one. Not all the angles are the same, so we're going to find the total and subtract those guys away from it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides this time. So my n is 8. So I'm doing 8 minus 2 times 180. 8 minus 2 gets me 6. 6 times 180 gets me 1080 degrees to share. So I need to take away all of those angles. Okay, so I'm going to write it all out on the right side. So I have n plus 147. The key is not to forget 1. 122 plus 99 plus 139 plus 147 plus 141, and it's going to equal my total, 1080. So if I add those all up, I'm going to get 940. We're going to subtract that 940. And my last angle is going to be 140 degrees. Okay, my last thing we're learning is exterior angles. So whenever I add exterior angles, so angles that sit on the outside, so angle 1 sits on the outside of my polygon, 2 is on the outside, 3, 4, 5. If I add all of those angles I just make, it will always equal 360 degrees. Outside angles always equal 360. Okay, so my first one, which one is missing? Okay, so I have 120, I have 81, I have 87, so 72 degrees would make it that 360. So all of those exterior angles added to be 360. Okay, so my next one here, if I add them all up, so the one that's missing this time is 56, all of these will equal 360. So if one of them was missing, let's say this one was missing this time and it was x, all of them should add and equal 360. So you could take x plus 66 plus 90 plus 56 plus 75 and set it equal to 360 and solve it if you needed to.